thank me for hosting this and just being friendly. I don't think I've ever had a person that ran on a statewide or even regional office that ever came by to thank me after that. So Miss Kitty, keep up the good rehab, and I'll try to meet your son Kevin. I understand he's very much like you and Clyde.
Did I give a break for KSLO, Mark?
Nope.
Nope. KSLO, take your break. We're running a little behind on that one.
Miss Rose Couvillon, you know Coach Kermit Couvillon?
Yes.
His lovely wife. She called to get some information on John and how to send him a get well card and all that. Of course, we visited. And she says every Wednesday night before we go to bed, Kermit, when he was alive, would say, do you have the radio ready to listen to Bobby Dupree in the morning? And, you know, that just...
Very good.
Yeah, just makes you feel so good. And they never had any children on their own, but let me tell you, they helped a whole bunch of people like myself when I was coming up. I don't know, they just kept you in line. You just didn't want to hurt that feeling. If you were on that team, his team, or if you were, even the girls, they all had respect. In fact,
you didn't want to disappoint them.
We honored him as the Teacher of the Year. We used that on the cover of the
boxing reunion.
Boxing reunion held here in Opelousas. How about that? Thank you, and good luck to you, Miss Rose.
Madame Fontenot, if you're looking to help her, you can just Google Madame Fontenot. She'll come up. She's a teacher over at North Vermilion High in Maurice. And they've got a couple of French teenagers still looking to come here on the French exchange program from the 18th of June through the 8th of July. Only 3 weeks. You don't need to know any French. They want to come here to learn a little bit about English here in a French culture. So give her a holler at 255-5713.
The little Bon Nouvelle, which is the little newspaper that's printed monthly or bi-monthly.
Yes, sir.
Out of Ville Platte, Louisiana, by Mr. Bobby Dardo, had some real good articles, and it looks like it was a little bit bigger issue than the past, but very, very interesting. Keep up the good work, Mr. Bobby. Glad to receive mine. Boy Scout roasting. Scott Angel was honored, I think that was last Friday night, as the 2011 Distinguished Award by the Evangeline Boy Scouts area here in Lafayette, Louisiana, the Council in Lafayette. That's a good picture.
And Mr. McGoffin himself giving the award.
Giving the award. That's correct. Yep.
I see that they're still selling tickets for the Opelousas Cerebral Palsy Clinic, you know, close to our hearts, for a Cross Runner 150 motor scooter, red and white, painted flashy. Go by Bowles Garage here in Opelousas to buy you some tickets. The drawing is going to be June the 1st, 2011. It's not very far away, less than a month. So go by right there on North Court Street and get you some tickets.
On that side, Mr. Charles Bro recently passed away. He was 80 years old. I didn't really know him too well, but I knew his brother, R.C. Bro, real well. And then I also knew a brother-in-law that's also preceded him in death, Mr. Leroy Manuel. We worked together at Mud Supply Company many years ago. Our sympathies to the Bro family, and also to Mrs. Carl Polang, who is the former Mary, better known as Billy. And she, of course, was pretty good. I think this 87, so good age on her, beautiful lady. And of course, she's survived by her 2 sons, Carl and Bill Polang. Bill and his wife Charmaine. Bill works and has one of the management positions with Tony Sasher Seasoning.
He's also training to become a deacon through Queen of Angels Church here. He'll be ordained a deacon sometime next year if everything goes
And
smooth.
she has a daughter, Patricia Sherlock, and on. But
welcome back, KSLO.
Her funeral took place on Tuesday here in Opelousas.
Wound Treatment Center. If you got to get those wounds treated, if you haven't healed well with surgery, if you've got diabetic type issues where you're having healing issues with that, the Wound Treatment Center can help you. Varicose veins as well. You and I are talking about in a week or so. Roscoe Schneer is going to be playing over at the Music and Market Series, and of course Roscoe is one of those guys on the poster for Wound Treatment Center. They've helped him with all the diabetic type issues he's had over the years. Go by Wound Treatment Center through the Opelousas General Health System and see Dr. Carrie Thibodeau or Dr. Ty Hargruder. And one more sponsor, LHC Group. all your home health care needs, LEC Group can help you. They can help you with the machinery you need, if it's the oxygen machines, the special beds, the special lift chairs. They can do all that. You need the therapist in your house to help you with rehab. Maybe you broke a hip, hurt an arm or something, they can do that.
And if you live in the Opelousas area, 25-mile area, good health club here in Heather Drive.
Heather Drive, great spot. Maybe you don't live here, maybe you work here in town, so it's convenient when you get off work to stop by and get a little workout on your way out.
Huge attendance there. It must be really nice. I bought the first investment. I put up bought the first unit when they founded it, and I've never been inside yet. Mrs. Fawn Futrell called me this morning, and she says the National Day of Prayer it'll be held in Port Barre at City Hall, 6 p.m. today, Thursday night. And she said she thanked us also for mentioning the Easter services.
Easter sunrise they have every year at
That's
Park.
Correct. And she said it was a nice crowd. Wish they'd have more, or they always want more to attend, but the beautiful Tesh was at its magnificence, and I think they hold that at what is it 6 o'clock maybe in the morning?
Right,
it's real early. But this National Day of Prayer, that's going to be today, Thursday, in Port Barre at the Port Barre City Hall. Thank you, Ms. Futrell.
We got a nice note from Dr. Strain, of course, of the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry. This flood is coming. The high point of the river is going to be the 21st, they're saying, in the Baton Rouge area, and maybe a day or two before, depending on how the whole thing works out. I understand they're going to start evacuating a lot of Vidalia Sunday. They've already started the nursing homes in the Vidalia area.
Started already.
Angola, they're taking out the elderly and the sick prisoners already, in case they got to evacuate all of Angola, moving them to some of the other prisons around the state. Big deal. If you got anything around the rivers, and that's Mississippi, Chaffalay, any of the major rivers, you better be ready, and the Bayou is going to come up too. So make sure you got everything put aside. And Dr. Strain also advised that if you got chemicals, if you got pesticides, insecticides, all that type of stuff, put them somewhere safe, get them all ready, seal them all up, make sure you understand you can't just dump that in a trash can or something. Got to be properly taken care of, so put it somewhere.
My friend, Mr. William LeBlanc from Rain, Louisiana, asked me to mention that on May 15th, there's going to be a concert to benefit the tornado victims. And boy, they really got hit bad.
And they're not getting much help from the feds.
Well, it's under that $5 million. There's a limit, on where you start.
But that don't make any, what doesn't make sense to me is this, okay? If it hit River Ranch, you'd be over the number because the property values of River Ranch are very expensive.
That's right.
The people there, that's poor people.
And
that's
a lot
why
of
the
them
number's not high.
A lot of them didn't even have insurance. That's the bad part.
That's the killer.
So anyhow, they're going to have 8 musicians are going to play, and it'll start. The fundraiser will start at 9 a.m. and continue until 7:30 p.m. So if you like to dance,
how about the first band, Belton Richard? Let me tell you, I like to hear Belton Richard play. He's good.
And it's the Rain Knights of Columbus Council, 1897, that's underwriting this. So anyhow, thank you for passing this on to me, and we'll remind them again one more time next week. Mr. William LeBlanc, my friend from Rain, Louisiana.
The person that told me about it, Father Sibley. Father Sibley, was in Mamou, now he's in Lafayette. I went to the Man-to-Man conference this past weekend, and he was there talking about it. So
Morganza Spillway, boy, we don't want to talk about that because that affects the St. Landry Parish. When they start talking about opening up the Morganza Spillway, you can start looking at problems even right there at 3 Mile Lake.
I grew up right there in Palmetto. I know where that levee
now,
is.
Let's talk about things that happen, big things that happen. We try to stay kind of local, but some big things that took place.
Alabama mostly, but throughout the South.
Throughout the South, over 300 people got killed, and the property, it mashed it to the ground. I mean, they won't have I don't know where the pieces went because all you saw was just open space.
And the damage is much worse than Katrina was for Alabama. I mean, this is way beyond what even Katrina was. They caught a lot of flooding along the coast, but the university right there in Tuscaloosa.
They're wondering where they're going to play.
They decided,
the football game.
I understand the baseball. They decided that they are going to play it there, but I mean, they've got so much damage. It's hard to get in and out of the city. I mean, it's tough.
Then, of course, on last Friday.
Yeah, you went to London for the wedding.
I went to London for the wedding. Didn't you see me on television?
I watched it. I looked for you, but I didn't see you.
But that was beautiful. It really
was. Very nice. She was a very pretty girl, and her little sister did a good job, I think. What I noticed is this: the little sister, that made the most generation, because as pretty as she is, the little sister was pretty, and right there, and they both got talked about. Now the little sister's the most eligible lady in England, you know, because she's pretty too, and she's connected to the royal family.
And then, of course, the big thing that occurred, that would be what, Sunday night. I was just about ready to turn in. I was in New Orleans. I was at the Maison Dupuis on Toulouse, a place that I went to many years ago, and I recall the first time I went there, I walked out to get my car. I walked all the way back to the back where the lunch was served, and I says, you think I could speak to the chef and tell him how good this steak was that I just ate? He said, well, Chef Paul Prudhomme just left. I said, who? Who was the chef? He says, Chef Paul Prudhomme.
No kidding.
So we were meeting every 3 months. The next time I went,
you went straight there to catch him.
To catch him, he was already gone. He says, let me tell you, he asked the management to take 1 day off. He was working 7 days a week. They turned him down. He left, went and get him a job, and I think it was at the, what's the big place? Commanders. And he ended up being the executive chef and taught many of the chefs around
Turned
Louisiana,
the world upside down when he got there.
When he got there. And then, of course, the rest of the history is K. Paul's and, of course, his magic seasoning right here. I didn't realize I'd be talking about him in that way, but he's worldwide. Internet sales are just jumping out of the blue.
Big plant, smoking plant near Palmetto.
And I've got a little bit of story to tell you.
Go ahead.
When John F. Kennedy got killed in November 1964, if my memory serves me right, Adelaide and I were in the French Quarter. And when the word came out, which was kind of early in the afternoon, that President Kennedy had been shot and killed, things just shut down. You would have never thought that the French Quarters
63
would have closed down.
63.
63. Okay, good.
64,
okay,
63. We got it. We're going to get it right.
That's right. And I said I thought.
Right.
And anyhow, I just never thought. And then, of course, now I was in French Quarters again.
This Sunday.
Another big event that took place. It was a killing, but this one we were looking to kill this guy, and we got him.
Osama bin Laden.
And I was at the Maison Dupuis on Toulouse. So kind of a unique happening, I guess, if you travel enough. And a man unwittingly did live tweets without realizing.
I'm on Twitter, and when you read that deal when it was happening, it's a strange. He talks about helicopters coming and hearing some explosions.
I thought you were sleeping.
I was asleep at that time, but in the morning I got on Twitter, could see all this guy's stuff.
Oh yeah, after yeah,
I wasn't watching.
Yeah, he did it while it was happening.
While it was happening.
He couldn't and had no idea. So maybe the people in Pakistan didn't know he was in that place.
He definitely didn't know.
That's right, and he's right near there.
He owned the coffee shop. Yeah. You think if anybody would hear, it might be him or the barber. I guess you got to ask. The barber always knows, right? The barber always knows. We're down to 30 seconds.
So anyhow, we had an interesting week. We want to wish all the mothers a very happy
Mother's Day Sunday.
And I hope that you get to visit with as many of your friends and especially your children as possible. And we like to close the program with a little thought, and we ask you to consider going to attend the Mass of your choice this weekend, and this little prayer thought: Heavenly Father, help me to realize the wonderful way of communicating with others that you have given me, principally through the tongue. Let me use it for good use. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. Tell a friend. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.